What's up guys, you join me today for yet another BMW M3 G80 video. Today I'm going to tell you all about the new update by BMW and how that combines with my FI exhaust setup, because as you might know I have 200 cell downpipes underneath here and a full exhaust by FI, and I now also installed the carbon fiber tailpipes, which do look really cool. Really like the carbon fiber combined with the Zanzibar, like with the roof. Really cool combo if you ask me. Should or should I not make all the black stuff carbon fiber? I do really like the black stuff. It also really combines well with the Zanzibar, but let me know, because this little spoiler right there, the diffuser, it can all be turned into carbon fiber. I'm not sure, you know, that stuff right there, you can have like an air duct made out of carbon fiber, because I don't have the competition model and I don't have the exterior carbon pack, and that's why I have these black rosters instead of the Venturi tunnels of the carbon exterior pack. But hey, that can all be added with performance parts and stuff like that. That was a bit of a side path. So now I'm going to talk to you about the exhaust. I haven't done a POV drive yet. I have already made an exterior sound video, but you know, that's not what the driving experience is. That's the spectator experience, and today it's all about the driving experience. You might also notice that I've also installed a new gear shifter, and this is a really cool mod. I got a tip from a Belgian fellow M3 owner, G80 owner, and he told me the E92 M performance shifter fits on the G80 gear lever. So it's Alcantara with aluminium, and it's shorter than the normal one, which I have right here, and it's less of a knob. It's more of a straight shaft. Okay, that sounds so wrong, but it really, you have a different grip, you know, the shape of your hand is different. This is how I hold the old gear knob, and this is how I hold the new one. So it's a really different driving experience with a very simple mod, because that's, I know I paid like 60 euros for that. But the big news of today's video is that BMW released a sound update. So the M sound control right there, they've updated that. So that means they've updated the fake sound through the speakers, which I am going to deactivate at one moment, but I'm not there yet. But they also changed the way the exhaust sound. Now, how do they do that? Well, of course they control the exhaust flaps and the flow through the exhaust pressure. So with the engine management system, they can do a lot to change the sound of the car. And I have to say that I drove the M4 pre-update, a stock one without this exhaust, and after the update. And I have to tell you that the difference is quite noticeable. It's quite large. And I didn't even hear that on the startup. Let's do that once more. There's this extra bit of wing. Okay, I'm not going to do impressions in this video, but listen to this. Listen carefully. There's this like UFO sound, moon, as if you start up your ET home cruiser. It's an awful sound if you ask me. I really don't like that addition. Really don't. But that's the end of the bad news for the update, because the rest is only good news, thankfully. Now, as I said, I drove an M4 on Zandvoort GP track, and I thought, what have they done to this exhaust? It sounds way different from the M4 I'm used to, the G82. So I asked them, what did you do with the exhaust? It was a car owned by BMW, and they said, we have done nothing to the exhaust. but they already installed the update, which I got 3 weeks later. But that's because it's BMW's car. They of course have the update sooner than the private owners. And today I am telling you all about it and how it combines with my FI exhaust setup. And we now have a bit of rain, so that's the case for all November weeks, I'm afraid, here in the Netherlands. But that does mean we get like cool sounds because we lose traction. That's when cars start to sound good, right? When they start to lose traction. At least I think so. Okay, so we're now in normal driving mode, which means the exhaust valves are closed, well, most of the time, and the fake sound is off. So just to be sure, there we have it, AM sound control off. So they changed the way the valves work. Essentially it means that they open sooner and more linear. So before they open up at like 4,000 RPM, I'd say, but now it's earlier, and they like do very clever stuff with the exhaust valves and the exhaust airflow to make it sound different. I do like this sound. The FI exhaust, it is a combination of a tuned BMW F80 M3 combined with an E46. It's a love baby of the two. It's absolutely amazing. I've listened to a lot of exhaust for the G80, but I have to say that this configuration, 200 cell downpipes via FI and the exhaust, I absolutely love it. I've had it for a few weeks now, and I just think it's the best mod I have ever done to a car. It's absolutely perfect. And as you can tell, with the valves closed, it already sounds so sporty. That raspy sound, the E46 sound I just mentioned, it's really noticeable with the valves closed. Well, oh man, that ESP system is so impressive. It really gives you all the power it can without losing traction. It's very clever. It's a big improvement over the F80. Bit of wheel spin there. This is full throttle, and it's completely cold and wet. Absolutely love it. Now, some might not like the raspy sound. They want the pops and bangs experience and stuff like that. Oh, but I love this sound. I may even like it better than with the valves open. And to put the valves open, we have to turn on the sound control. So let's go for M2 mode. Now, BMW have also changed the way the exhaust sounds when you let off the throttle. So now we also have the pops and bangs. When you let off the throttle, it ends with like this bass blow through the exhaust. It's a really low blowing sound, and that's new. You also really hear that with just the stock exhaust, even with the OPF. And I think it's a great addition. I don't know how they did that, but it sounds so much better with the update. both with or without this exhaust. So I think we can go a bit faster here. Oh, that rasp combined with the pops and bangs, it's a very brutal sound. It's a little over the top, but I like it. What I don't like is when you have the valves open in M mode, they close at certain RPM. So here, underneath 3000 RPM, they close again. And that's because BMW, they don't want you to be too intrusive when you drive through a village at low RPM. They don't want pop, 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 pop at low RPM, you know. They do have a point, but I think the exhaust pops with the valves closed sound a bit like a fart can. You just hear the valves tick, 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 tick. I really don't like it. And I should stop making impressions of exhaust sounds. I just promise you guys I wouldn't do that. Sorry guys. Okay, I am going to turn on ESP because it's so treacherous today. It's cold, it's damp. Oh, that's the sound I just mentioned. That bassy sound through the exhaust. It's really, really weird. What's also weird is how the exhaust sounds and the exhaust valves for the manual, because it's different than with the auto, the competition. Because listen to this. I have my clutch fully pressed right now, but let's release it. And it becomes silent. How is the clutch a factor in the sound? But it is. That's weird, right? Listen to this. Open, closed. That's so weird. So I have so many factors that determine the exhaust sound. It's crazy. I don't know why BMW do that, but it might have something to do again with being intrusive and being a burden to your environment. Because when your clutch is not engaged in neutral, it means you're standing still. So why should you make any sound? I guess that's why they did that. But I love the fact that for the manual they added that, you know. It might be a bit nanny-ish, I do agree on that, but I do like these small little differences between the competition and the non-competition. Now, I've never regretted not getting the competition. I absolutely love my manual. I hardly ever see them, and it sounds like a freaking beast. And you just have to manhandle that gearbox, which you do have to get used to, because you still have the rubbery feel of a BMW manual. They just... I love that sound. Let's do it in first gear. I mean, it is a bit too much, right? So let's turn off M mode again. Well, oh, that was M mode engaged again. Okay, that's because I manually turned off ESC, so it disengaged M mode. But let's turn off N mode and M sound control off. Have a listen to this. No bops and bangs, just a rasp, and it's a bit more silent. I hope you can hear that on camera though, because it's like two variants of loud, but one is way louder than the other. And man, I just love both of them. If you have like a bit of an anti-social mood, you go for M mode and open the valves up, but oh, I can do this all day. And I have so much fun because it's a manual, and whenever I drive a competition, I just put it in drive and, you know, use the flappy pedals at times, but because it's so convenient to just put it in drive and it's so fast when you do, you drive it quicker, you know, you get up to speed quicker with the competition. With the manual, you just stick it into a gear and enjoy the build-up within that gear, which is way different than with the competition, which is an 8-speed, so you go through the gears a lot quicker, and with the manual you just stick into a gear and enjoy that gear, and then you like choose it the next level, if you know what I mean. It's a bit of a weird explanation, I guess, but you just have to do with it, I'm afraid. To conclude, I absolutely love my M3. I've had it since March, quite some time now. I have had it for 18,500 kilometers. I have enjoyed every single one of those, and the last like 2,000, 3,000 kilometers with the FI setup, it has become the car I want it to be. That has really livened up the car. I mean, we started out with the OPF delete, which made it like 2 times better, but with the FI exhaust, it's 4 times better than its stock. I mean, absolutely lovely. I also still have the race chip, of course, with 630 horsepower, something like that. But in these conditions, I turn it off because the torque is just monstrous, and you can never do a nice pull without getting into danger, because it's just too much in these conditions. But that's the great thing with the race chip, that the fact that you can turn it off, and I really like that about it, because when it's dry again, I turn it on and it immediately like impresses me, because you get this big torque tsunami when you turn it on. And you only notice it when you turn it on and off, so you don't get used to it, which is really nice. Really also like that mod. Maybe in the future we'll go for a full-blown ECU remap with top speed limiter removed, then go to the Autobahn and see how quick this car can really be. But it will never be as quick as a competition, let alone a competition X-Drive, because they are just monsters, with which I just can't compete with. First of all, the manual ratios, which are a lot larger, and shift times, of course, because it's a nice gearbox, but 0.1 of a second to shift, yeah, that's not going to happen with the manual gearbox. So thank you for watching. This was my little update about, well, nearly everything, right? Yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.